אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. אשא עיני אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ. עזרי מעם אדוני, עושה שמיים וארץ. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. O God, help us to understand that grief and love go hand in hand, that the pain which loss inflicts is the measure of a love stronger than death. Though we grieve in our hearts, may we be unafraid to the trusted hand. In this spirit, O God, do we commit all that is precious to us, to your keeping. Friends, we are here today to remember and honor the memory of Irma Kahn, a devoted wife, mother, grandmother, a woman full of love, of pride, of independence, a woman full of drive and love and the insatiable spirit to share that with others. My name is Cantor Vladimir Lapin from Anshe Chesed Fairmount Temple. It is a privilege to be here by your side as we honor and remember your mom and your grandmother. Irma was a woman whose journey on this earth was a testament to family and to love and to loyalty. She leaves an indelible mark on all those she encountered and cherished. Today we celebrate and honor her life and join our hearts together to give comfort to her loved ones. In the words of Ecclesiastes, a season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for dancing and a time for wailing, a time for giving birth and a time for dying, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing. The time of mourning is a complicated time. It's a difficult time, filled with many emotions and memories, both sweet and bitter. Mourning is the price we pay for having the courage to love others. Even in grief, we know that the wonder of human life is too complex and too magnificent to be memorialized in endless pain. The gifts of spirit Irma gave you all cannot be measured or weighed, nor can they be lost or even tarnished by time. Even in the darkest hours, we know that her light will always be with you, bringing comfort and courage, and in the fullness of time, healing, and peace. We continue our service with recitation of psalms and prayers, linking Irma's life with the tradition of the people Israel and the eternity of God. These words from Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me lie down in green pastures, leads me beside still waters, and restores my soul. You lead me in right paths for the sake of your name. Even when I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You have set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of God forever. Today, we will hear from Irma's niece, Lori, her grandkids, Macy and Noah, and her beloved daughters, Andy and Julie. I invite Lori to please come up.
So, as you know, I'm Irma's niece, Lori, Drexler Marcantonio.
Very close.
Okay, can you hear me? And I'm just saying now, yes, I'm old school, and it's written on a pad. Courageous, strong, loving, creative, expert cook, a real warrior. These are all words I would use to describe my Aunt Irma. Aunt Irma had an unwavering love for her cat Max, her furry companion who brought her endless joy. In the kitchen, Aunt Irma was an expert concocting delectable meals that had all of us craving her top dishes: noodle kugel, many soups, paella, baked salami, mandelbread, to name a few. Her love for cooking brought her true joy and was a reflection of her nurturing spirit. In fact, at the end, she thought she was making me my favorite mushroom barley soup all for days. I dare to say hers was even better than Grandma Pudgy's. She really took pride in preparing the holiday meals that brought us all together. Aunt Irma's strong work ethics was a testament to her character. Whether in her jobs or her home, she was a perfectionist. Though Aunt Irma faced profound loss of Debbie and Uncle Michael, her strength and courage to pick up the pieces and carry on were a source of admiration to me. I know her love for Andrea and Julie were a motivation to her. She was truly a warrior. Aunt Irma was a woman of many hobbies, each reflecting her unique interests and talents. She loved reading books and watching movies. Needlepointing was a creative outlet for her, creating many beautiful pieces that will now be a part of her legacy. And thanks to COVID, she became a master at building Lego sets. At one time, they took over her apartment. I came to really understand Aunt Irma and feel so grateful for our many lengthy conversations analyzing life. She was comfortable in her own skin and truly a homebody. Her love for me and my family, especially St. Robert, will always be in my heart. You will be missed, but now you are united with Debbie and Uncle Michael. Thank you for being such a special person and aunt to all of us.
I guess we're not old school.
Yeah.
My love for my family, for this family, comes from my bubby. Growing up in a different city than my family made the time we had together that much more special, and that always started with Bubby. She would pick Mom and I up from the airport. We'd go to her house, and she'd have my favorite foods ready, always. When I was little, we would always watch the movie Annie together, and we'd sing, "I Think I'm Gonna Like It Here," in reference to the fun food, shopping, and love we would share on our Cleveland trips together. I always liked it here. When I was in town, she wanted to make me happy, and she did. The house she lived in for almost all of my life is one that will be in my memories forever. It is remembered as the house with the strange storage room in the basement that lightly reflected hoarding behavior, filled with relics from my mom and her sister's childhood. When I started Girl Scouts as a little girl, Bubby went down to that room and got my mom's Girl Scout vest from her childhood. Around my bat mitzvah, Bubby went into the basement and got the dress my mom wore on her bat mitzvah. Bubby taught me what family really means and showed me how to love to the fullest potential. The love she had for my dad even after my parents' divorce made everything feel okay, and the love she had for Mark and Dylan made it even more natural to have them around. My Bubby was a creature of habit, and I am too. I acquired her habit of watching the same movies over and over again and not wanting to watch anything else, simply out of comfort. I've come to Cleveland a couple times a year for my entire life, and I feel like I could honestly name every restaurant we've ever been to here. We like what we like, why change it up? When I committed to Pitt in February, Bubby and I were so excited we would be so close to each other. We talked about how she would come to Pittsburgh for lunch, and I could come to Cleveland for a weekend whenever I wanted. Being a driving distance away from each other was a privilege we never got to have. Even with her being gone, I'm never going to be able to eat lunch at Corky's without feeling her presence with us. I don't think Cleveland will ever feel quite the same without her here, but I promise I will keep doing all the things we loved in honor and celebration of you. Bubby, even without you here, the love you shared and filled mine, Jacob, and Noah's hearts with will never go away. We promise to celebrate your life and love and continue your legacy of happiness, smiles, good food, and family for the rest of our lives. Bubby, we never felt like chopped liver when you were around, and we love you so much.
I'm also not old school. And I don't read. We wrote this together, but I will be reading because she doesn't read. Our mother was a small woman, but her strength was undeniable. Life was not always easy, and Irma faced challenges head on with a fortitude that left us in awe. We often joked about her surprising physical strength, which she attributed to her own mother, our beloved grandmother. It was a strength that served her well throughout her life. Irma instilled in us unwavering work ethic and the importance of independence. She worked tirelessly at her jobs, teaching us the value of hard work and determination. She was a woman who set an example for us, showing that we could achieve anything we set our minds to, and that independence was a source of pride. Our mother's love for having 3 girls and later a granddaughter was boundless. This is just a girl thing, it's not a grandchild thing. Okay. She took great joy in shopping for us and dressing us in pretty outfits. If allowed, she would have dressed us until her last day, ensuring we were always looking our best. Her love extended to her granddaughter Macy, who she lovingly spoiled when Macy, this is again just girl things, Macy, who she lovingly spoiled. When Macy arrived early in this world, our mother ran out to find the perfect pink outfit, making sure Macy came home in style. Cooking soup and preparing her precious, loved one's favorite recipes was how she best showed her love. She believed that sharing a meal was sharing love, and her kitchen was the heart of our home. Her grandchildren, Jacob, Noah, and Macy, as well as her son-in-laws, nieces, and nephews, knew that Irma could always be counted on to deliver a pot of soup in times of need. Irma had a charming quirk when it came to her hobbies. When she was into something, she was all in. Lucite collecting, decorative artistic display plates, knitting, Limoges, Lego building, and needlepoint. All of these became her beloved obsessions. She poured her heart into each one, creating beautiful works of art and intricate designs that reflected her boundless creativity. Our mother had a desire for adventure, music, and travel. Her 80th birthday brought a special opportunity when we took her on an Alaskan cruise. She planned and packed for this adventure for 6 months, and her excitement was infectious. She didn't miss a beat, signing up for every adventure offered. We saw her bravery as she hopped on an helicopter to glaciers, knelt down to drink pure glacier water, ventured on whale watching expeditions, and even took a skyplane over the fjords.
Yes.
Sorry, Mom.
Yes, Irma. We promised we wouldn't tell, but we're telling.
There was a moment of mishap when she fell into the icy water, and we were sworn to secrecy. She did. However, we share it now because in that moment, she shone through as the remarkable lady that she was. We got back on the plane. Irma was drenched, and she worked to calm everybody else down, claiming that it was only water. There was a lovely young lady on the plane who had deep admiration for her and said that she only hoped that if something like this happened to her, she would handle it with equal amounts of dignity. That was our mother in a nutshell. She lived her life with tremendous dignity. In Irma's honor, let us remember her with love and gratitude, cherishing the indomitable spirit of the remarkable woman she was. She will always be with us, a source of inspiration, and her memory will continue to guide our lives.
Thank you all for those beautiful words of tribute. Today we are mourning, we're saying goodbye, and we're offering tribute to Irma. We remember and celebrate the life of a remarkable, courageous, and resilient woman, a loving wife, a devoted mother, a doting grandmother, the embodiment of love, of strength, of independence. Eshet Chayil mi yimtza, a woman of valor, of strength. Who can find her? So ask our sages in the book of Proverbs. We certainly found one in Irma. A strong-willed, independent, private, but loving woman, respected and remembered by all who knew her. While today's no happy occasion, we nevertheless celebrate her life by recalling the many wonderful memories. Andy and Julie, I'm so grateful for the time we spent on Friday together. You shared with me your unforgettable memories of your beloved mom. Your willingness to open up and to share those precious memories allowed me to feel closer to her and to understand the incredible person that she was. And it's so evident that she was a remarkable mother, a grandmother, and wife, and it's clear that her love and wisdom continue to live through you. Andy and Julie, our community shares our love and deep heartfelt condolences with all of you and with your children, with Macy and Noah and Jacob, and with all of your extended family. Irma was born in Cleveland in 1942 to Ida and Max Mazerow. She was the youngest of 4 siblings, Herbie, Henry, and Florence. Herbie, I know while you're not here, you're watching, or you'll be watching later with a broken heart. We send our deep condolences to you and our love. Irma lived in the University Heights area of Cleveland for most of her life. And after high school, she spent some time attending The Ohio State University, where she met Michael, of blessed memory, her beloved husband of over 40 years. Andy and Julie, I love the memory you shared of your dad offering your mom a ride to school, expecting somebody who packs light. Much to his surprise, she arrived with many, many, many suitcases. I think you said 10, right? Irma and Michael were married on Valentine's Day in 1965. 65 or 64? 65. A day that remained so special to Irma for all her years. Michael and Irma became parents to 3 girls, Debbie, Andy, and Julie. Irma cherished every moment of being a girl mom. Julie, you said she was your biggest cheerleader, someone who would always be there for you, someone who would be as involved as the space you gave her. From the day her daughters were born, she reveled in the joy of raising them, guiding them, and watching them grow into remarkable women. Her love for her girls was boundless, a love that radiated strongly. Life tested Irma's resilience in ways that were unimaginable, and she faced these challenges with grace and strength. Among the most heart-wrenching trials she endured was the tragic loss of Debbie, her oldest daughter. Losing a daughter is a pain that no parent, no mother should ever have to bear, and it left a void in her heart that could never be filled. She faced various trials, but it was her enduring love for her family, her dedication to her girls, to to her beloved husband, and her ability to find hope even in the darkest moments that defined her character. Her story serves as a testament to the remarkable power of resilience. In addition to her roles as a dedicated wife and a loving mother, Irma had another facet to her life that she held dear, and you mentioned this a little bit already. Her passion for her bookkeeping job for a local women's clothing shop. For her, it wasn't just work, it was a way to lose herself in the world of numbers and details. Irma loved and was proud of her work. She felt a sense of responsibility to help support Michael and her girls with this job. And she did, working her way to the position of assistant buyer with the company, something she was very proud of. But her biggest passion and love in life were her beloved Michael and her daughters. Her devotion as a caregiver to Michael went beyond just physical care. It was the emotional support, the comforting presence, and the deep understanding that made her truly exceptional. She provided a safe haven in which Michael could find solace and strength during his moments of vulnerability. Her unwavering love and care provided him with the fortitude to face his challenges with dignity and resilience. Irma's role as a caregiver showcased the depth of her love and her selflessness. It illustrated the kind of person she was, one who put the needs of her loved ones before her own. She was grateful to Michael for his partnership in their marriage, and she was so grateful to Michael for his amazing family, for the cousins, aunts, uncles. Family gave her purpose in life, and while she wasn't a social butterfly, she was a person for whom family was paramount. She loved being surrounded by the people she loved most in the world, and she welcomed new members into the family with pride and excitement. Julie, you shared how much she loved your husband, Mark. She said that one of her biggest regrets is that Michael, your dad, didn't have a chance to meet him. And Andy, I love the story of your marriage to Jimmy in 2020, with the only guest in attendance being your son and your mom, of course. She absolutely adored her grandchildren. She was so excited to be a bubby. She loved the idea of being a grandmother and being able to dote on her grandchildren. She showed her love through action, through doing the laundry, cooking, being there when anyone needed her to be there. Macy, you were her shining star. And Jacob and Noah, she was so proud of you. Irma had a special love for Israel, having traveled there a few times in her life, including an unforgettable trip she took with Michael. She was especially close to the land since her sister had made Aliyah in 1976. I believe her heart would be broken today if she knew the current situation there. We continue to hope and pray that peace envelops the land soon. Irma's love of animals began with a trip of Israel to see her sister, who was a dog breeder, and from whom she got one of her favorite dogs, a miniature schnauzer named Buttons. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Buttons. And so began her passion for dogs and cats, dogs that included Duchess, Ginger Snaps, Binky, and then her attention turned to her beloved cats, including her treasured Maximus. Irma had an uncanny ability to connect with these four-legged friends, and they in turn gravitated to her like kindred spirits. Her love and care for them knew no bounds. Julie and Andy, I know that the last 7 months have been incredibly difficult for you. You uprooted your lives so you can be there for your beloved mom, to be there and take care of her, to support her, to drive her, to be there by her side. You were her pride and joy. As I said to you on Friday, I hope you can now take a breath. I hope and pray that your bond as sisters remains strong, united, and surrounded by love. You have an inspirational relationship based on resilience and love. A bond between siblings, between sisters, is a unique and enduring one, forged through shared experiences, laughter and tears, and a deep understanding of each other's lives. As you navigate the difficult journey of losing your beloved mom, I hope and pray you lean on each other for strength and support. Having gotten to know you just a little, I believe you will. I want to share a few words from Cantor Sarah Sager, with whom Irma was close to and who sadly can't be here today. She's traveling overseas. Cantor Sager wrote yesterday, "Dear friends, it is only the fact that I am very far away from Cleveland that I am not there with you this morning to mourn and remember our beloved Irma. Irma and I had a way of communicating with each other and of understanding each other that transcended time and the vicissitudes of each of our lives. I loved Irma and always called her Irma la Douce, Irma the Sweet, after the 1960s movie of that name. Irma was more than sweet. She was strong, courageous, resilient, wry, unsentimental, realistic, and yet always maintained her ability to smile, to appreciate irreverence and irony and the failings and foibles of life. She knew profound grief, and she knew great joy, and somehow learned to balance them both without shortchanging either memory or celebration. She knew how to go forward, to accept life's unexpected twists and turns, and to appreciate the moments of repose and fulfillment. She also struggled openly and honestly with her faith, and yet was always a temple for the yahrzeit of her beautiful daughter Debbie, and then for Michael after he passed away. She had her moments of despair, but she would not give in, and somehow she would not give up. She always inspired me with her down-to-earth wisdom and fortitude. My heart goes out to Andy and Julie, who shared so much of their mother's journey with her. They were a team, and yet when Andrea and Julie were growing up, Irma was a rock to them and Michael and to their family. She held all of the pieces together. She was responsible for everyone's well-being and sense of purpose in the face of tragedy and loss. Irma Ledouce made life sweet and livable under the most trying circumstances, so that better circumstances could and did follow. I know she adored her children and their families. My thoughts and prayers are with you all at the sad time of loss that is shared by so many. Irma Ledouce, the strong, the only, the seemingly indomitable, the sweet, and now she will always be in our minds, our hearts, and our memories. With my love and prayers, Sarah. Friends, we must keep telling the story of this Eshet Chayil, this woman of valor and love, and live our own lives in ways that would have made her proud. There's a custom when a Jewish scholar finished a book of the Torah or the Bible, the author doesn't write the words, the end. Instead, we are taught to write the Hebrew words, tam v'nishlam, meaning that the purpose of the work has been achieved to its fullness. And so it is with the life of your beloved Irma. You lived a full life. In her passing, we mourn the physical loss of a remarkable woman, but we also celebrate a life well lived. We honored the love that she showered upon her family, the wisdom she imparted, and the legacy she leaves behind. May we all be inspired by Irma to lead our lives with integrity, with independence, with love and passion. May we learn from her example to always be there for our children and grandchildren, to be nurturing and caring to our spouses, and to enjoy life to our fullest. May Irma's memory be for a blessing. Zichrona livracha, and let us say, Amen. We continue with the memorial prayer, El Malei Rachamim. If you are able to, I invite you to please rise. El Malei Rachamim, Shochen Bamromim, Hametzei Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei Chashchina, Im Kedoshim Utehorim, Kezohar Harakia, Mazirim, Et Nishmat Asnat Irma Bat Maksayda, Shechalcha Le'olama. Bal Arachamim Yastireha B'Seiter Kenafav Le'olamim. V'yitzror hachayim et nishmata, Adonai hu nachalata, v'tanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'nomar amen. May the source of life, the fountain of all being, open our hearts to compassion and our eyes to wisdom, that we might glimpse in perfect peace and sadness the way of all things. May Irma's memory be for us a blessing, and may we never let the light of her love grow dim in our hearts. May we remember all her worthy and righteous deeds, that the memory be forever bound up in the bond of life. God is our source and our destination, our beginning and our end. May Irma's passing awaken us to this truth, that the bond of love we shared and share not be disconnected in sorrow. May she rest in peace, and let us say together, Amen. We continue with the recitation of the mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'v'zman hariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata v'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all those who mourn, to which we say, Amen. In a moment, we're going to invite all of you to, those who have roses, to put them, to accompany Irma. We also have a tradition in Judaism to put the dirt into the grave. That is a tradition in which we say that up to the last moment, we are with the person. We don't want strangers to be doing this. It's the loved ones that help cover our beloved. And as we do this, we know that Irma loved music. And I will share one of her most favorite songs. And as I do, I invite you to continue with the roses and with the dirt.
Do you want us to start with the roses?
Start with the roses.
And then do the dirt?
Then do the dirt.
Okay.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taking, who cannot seem to give, and a soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the seed that with the sun's light in the spring becomes the rose. May Irma's memory be a blessing as we mark that her essence will never leave our hearts and souls. May God console you with all who mourn in Zion and Jerusalem. Now go forth in peace to life. The family will receive friends at the residence of Melissa and David Gottlieb, 6185 Penfield Lane in Solon, Ohio. They'll be there. They'll be receiving until 7 p.m. tonight. This concludes our service.